Yo, Rahma again. I keep telling you that if you want, I can offer you my services and we can make you into a social media influencer if you want.
I don't want.
Why don't you want to be a social media influencer, man? We can grow your page and we can get sponsorships from Fit Tea and stuff like that.
Fit tea. Wow, fit tea. First of all, I post when I want to post. Let's just start from there.
We
And
can
those are
just
things that you can't do when you're trying to grow to influencer status. You can't.
we can just put you on a schedule. We can hire someone to be posting for you.
No, thanks.
Rahma, my act is now together.
Your act is together.
Yes, my act is not together.
Okay, great. It's so long, man. A whole week. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this week's episode of the Haraam podcast. This is episode 14 with me, Kevin.
And your very lovely co-host, the Rahma Ramadan.
Please stop. Anyway, guys,
But I'm lovely. What do you mean?
Anyway, guys, this is episode 14 of the That's All Around podcast. Sit back, relax, enjoy the episode, and we shall see you guys. Peace. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this week's episode of the That's So Haram podcast. We are on episode 14. Yo, Rahma Ramadan, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I can't believe that we're almost getting to 15. No, first of all, when we got to double digits, I was like, this is nice. This is amazing. Because, seeing those one digits was just very demoralizing, to be honest. But now that we're in the double digit lane, I'm feeling much more confident.
I don't know what you me. I have seen double digits throughout me.
The zero doesn't count.
02, 03. It's a psychological game to try to help you keep going,
No, in that case, then my bank account is 6 figures. Even mine is 6 figures if we're talking about the zeros at the beginning.
And that will motivate you to actually get 6 figures. So
no, I'll probably just chill because I know I have 6 figures, but I don't.
It works, Rahma. It works.
No.
It works. I'm telling you, it works. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, man, you guys were feeling yesterday's episode. At yesterday's episode, you guys were feeling the previous episode 13. And if you guys don't know, man, we are on YouTube right now. We are even posting up the snippets because we know y'all niggas do not have a very long attention span. So for those of you guys who are not able to watch the whole thing, we have snippets out on our YouTube, so you can be able to check them out there. Yes. Rahma, did you know that the youth nowadays have a very short attention span?
Everyone these days has a very short attention span.
You were supposed to back me up with me schooling these people, and now you are taking them easy. You are like those moms who defend their kids all the time when their dad is reprimanding them.
No, not really. It's just a reality that... Sorry, let me fix my earphone first.
And as we wait, I can sing a song.
Hijabi problems. Yep. I don't know if it's me alone, but I usually forget putting on my earphones under my hijab, and then after I'm all dressed up is when I remember, and now I have to... Well, yeah, you don't understand, but it's a problem.
Well, I was going to make a joke and say that I do understand, but honestly, I do not.
Yeah, exactly, you don't.
I don't understand. Rahma Ramadan, there has been a crisis. There has been an international crisis. This is even worse than Trump. We need to discuss this.
No, there's nothing that is worse than Trump.
We need to discuss. This is worse than Trump, I'm telling you. We need to discuss this. Cardi B and Offset are getting a divorce, man.
An international crisis is Lebanon being hit by the atrocity that it was
Please,
hit
please, please,
with?
please, chill, chill. It's an
You can't be talking about an international
chill.
crisis. No, I'm
Rahma,
not
chill.
chilling. You can't say that this is an international crisis and then
Rahma,
you go ahead and
Rahma,
say something like that
Rahma, Rahma,
in
Rahma,
comparison to all the things
Rahma,
that have happened
Rahma.
in
It's an serious.
2020. No, it's very serious.
Please,
You can't say that it's an international crisis and then you're
Rahma.
comparing it to all these things that have happened in 2020. All these things. I mean, the human race was about to be wiped out by a whole freaking pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
That was an international crisis. That
Mm-hmm.
was an international crisis. Hunger is an
Mm-hmm.
international crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Lack of employment
Mm-hmm.
is an international crisis. Corruption is an
Mm-hmm.
international crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Not two people that
Mm-hmm.
got divorced and because of their status, we all have to care. People get divorced every day. I know people who got divorced last month. Do you hear me telling you that, oh my God, Gakeri, so and so got divorced? I mean, it's sad because they made a lifelong commitment, and because of you all's expectations, you wanted them to be bound together for life, couple goals, quote unquote. Well, I'm sorry, you guys' feelings got hurt, but it's not an international crisis. It's something wrong, yeah, it's something bad. Go ahead with your international crisis, fixing, labeling things that are not.
Are you happy now? You ruined the joke. Are you happy now? I was building up to something. Are you happy now? Are you happy? Do you does some small part of you feel proud?
No.
Eh?
I'm just letting you know that you can't realize all these other things that are going on. If you're going to
Does some
compare
does
this
does
thing,
some does a small part of you feel elated that you've ruined the joke?
no,
You,
not.
you think
I
you
mean, you
think
could have
you
talked about
think
it.
you
It's fine.
honestly think
Could have talked
you
about
honestly
it.
think Rakma, you honestly think that I give a fuck about Cardi B and Offset?
Yeah,
You really think I do? I don't.
100%,
I
100%,
do not. I do not.
100%.
First of all, let me tell you something. First of all, and we are going to get right into this topic. I think some artists are fucking overrated, and Cardi B being one of them. I don't think Cardi B has any talent, no talent whatsoever.
Here you
She's
go,
just overhyped.
countering what I'm telling you. It's fine. Just pretend like it was the sleek way
You
of
ruined the joke,
out of
Rahma.
it.
You
No,
ruined the joke.
no. I know you're her biggest fan, so you can't say anything.
What? What?
Yeah.
Yo, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, ignoring the fact that Rahma ruined this whole thing, Cardi B and Offset
It
just
wasn't a
announced that they
joke
got a
because you're Cardi B
Cardi B
fan.
and Offset got a divorce today. It has been announced on the Bread Batch, on the Breakfast Club, and all these gossip channels that you guys like listening to. But I actually had a topic to this. I actually had a topic to
Wait.
bring out
Before you
in
go
all
there, I
this.
have a question, right?
Ask me.
So if you're saying that it was announced in all these other gossip sites that people follow, so how did you come across the news if you don't follow or look at the same sites? Don't answer
I
that.
didn't
Go
say
ahead.
that. I did not say.
Go ahead. Go ahead
I
and
didn't
talk
say that I
about
don't follow. Let me tell you. I
that.
listened to the. I watched the Breakfast Club quite a bit on YouTube. Shout out to the Breakfast Club. Shout out me the God if you listen to this. Hi.
I mean, anything that Charlemagne does is not like a gossip channel.
Is this going to be the podcast now?
No, it's not. But go ahead
You
and talk about what you wanted to talk
is
about.
this really going to be the podcast now?
Cardi B's fan,
I
and now
actually
because
had
you're caught,
I actually
you're
had a
not a
topic.
fan anymore. Wow. Okay.
I
Cool. Go
actually
ahead.
had a topic that I want to talk about, and ladies and gentlemen, this is bringing up a very good topic that I think I want us to discuss. And I'm sure Rahma, you have some very strong emotions about this topic. Would you take your man back if he cheated? Because I think we all, I mean, it was all over that initially they had broken up because Offset did cheat on her, and then the good Lord in heaven touched her in some special way, and she took him back, and now here they are. Because sources are claiming that it is because Offset was caught cheating again. So Rahma, it brings up the topic now. You can stop being all says that oh Lebanon, oh hunger, oh corruption. Hey. What do you think about women taking back men or men taking back women who have cheated on them in their relationships, in their marriages? What do you think about it? Go and please don't talk about Lebanon again.
Do you guys know what's happening in Lebanon? Just
Oh
go and
God.
search and look at it.
Oh God.
Do you guys know what's happening in Syria?
We actually talked about what?
Go ahead.
Rahma, Akina, you are even going to interrupt me as I'm trying to plug our previous episode. Really,
No, I'm telling you to go ahead and talk.
we did talk about Lebanon, a bit of it in a previous episode, but you know that deserves. I feel like that deserves a topic. That deserves an episode on its own. What's going on right now with the whole financial crisis that is going on? The fact that the blast took out almost 80% of their food reserves and everything. That deserves a topic on its own. But right now we are trying to keep this episode light for now, which I thought
That's a
we
disaster.
which I thought we agreed in before we started recording, but you decided to just go 360 and just make me look bad. You know what? It's okay. Continue. Would you take your man back if he cheated on you, Rahma?
Listen, no, it's not even a topic of discussion.
Really? Why not?
Because we would have already talked about it before entering into the marriage contract, quote unquote. So it's something that already from the get-go, from my side, I have said that it's not an issue. So once either of us step out of the marriage for whatever reason whatsoever, that's it.
You know what I think? I think it's not that easy. I think it's not that easy to just say, you know what, fuck this guy, I'm done and whatever. Because it depends at what stage you are at in that relationship. If you guys are like in it, you guys have like a kid or two kids and stuff like that, and this guy stepped out for whatever reason, you know, he stepped out and he did his thing. I don't think it's that easy. I don't think Rakma you would be saying the same thing if you guys are together. You guys have a young kid and stuff like that. I don't think you would be saying the same thing. It's a very big can of worms because there's so many underlying issues that need to be addressed. Not, you know what, fuck you, I'm out, dipped. You know.
So what would be, let's say your spouse has walked out of your marriage, right? So what would be the circumstances in which you would agree on for you to still move ahead with your marriage and try and fix things?
Some people, you know, Rahma, again, we all make mistakes. And believe me when I tell you, Rahma, I used to be those people of, you know what, I cannot take her back after she cheats on me. I cannot. But again, I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying that you need to look at it from the aspect of the relationship. You guys have invested so much of your time, of your lives together. You guys have a child, or you guys have children and stuff like that. I believe that some issues you guys are able to sit down and discuss, and that's simply why I'm saying that it's not that black and white. And to answer your question about what would make me take her back is if we have so much together and she's genuinely remorseful. Like, you know, there's a way you can tell. There's a way that there is that your kabambe.
That's my M-Pesa phone. Go ahead.
Hey, sorry, we are so sorry. Anyway, there
It's
are so
probably like
many.
120 shillings, but whatever.
Hey, M-Pesa is M-Pesa. So anyway, for me, there's a way
Did
you
your
can tell
lights
that
just
somebody.
come back, or did you switch on the light?
This bulb of mine just keeps joking, but you know what? It's all good. We
Okay, now
move
we can see you. We can see you now.
we move regardless. Did you really have to do that?
Yeah, I did.
I will start exposing you here. Anyway, there are so many underlying issues that you guys need to look at, yeah. Because there's a way you can tell if this person has, like, if this person is genuinely remorseful. Rahma, I know people who have had kids, yeah, men who've had kids, and the second kid, they're told this child is not yours. The wife is on her knees. She's like, you know what, babe, do whatever you want to do to me, but this child is not yours. What do, Rahma? You have raised this child as if they are your own. And mind you, this child has done nothing wrong. This child has done nothing wrong but be born into this world. Would you leave? Would you leave?
My relationship is not with the child. I mean, if okay, see, I'm not a man, so I don't know if I was going to leave or not. But there's no way I'm going to have a kid with someone who's not the father of the kid. Okay, maybe I'm speaking about this because I'm grounded by a lot of the Islamic principles.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
let me tell you, because if for me, for someone to make a conscious decision to step out of the marriage, if you're a Muslim,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Yeah. You even have to go out of your way to plan and everything. Even just generally, when people say it's a mistake, it just happened. I don't know how it just happened. I don't understand it because it's very intentional. Even when you're doing it, you're thinking about your next move. So you can't say, I just stumbled upon it. I just bumped into it and now I stepped out of the marriage. I didn't know how that happened. So even from an Islamic point of view, by the time you're talking to this other person, let's say for me, by the time I'm married and I'm talking to another man, moving from just talking to this person, or let me go and see you, fine, I'm sitting with this other person and I'm talking to them. Okay, now we feel like we need to find a more secluded place for both me and you to be able to have that alone time, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, one thing will lead it to the other. And for me, if I am in a commitment with my partner, definitely I know there are things that I am not supposed to do. Even away from that, relationships between the opposite gender in the Islamic faith are very, very limited. Yeah. So you can't be sitting in private without any particular reason with someone of the opposite sex if you two are not married or you're not related to each other, right? So even for me, I'd have crushed so many of the boundaries that I have, and it would be so much work for me to be able to get there and then actually step out of my marriage, because even all these things can be classified as cheating or contributing factors to the cheating, right? So even me getting to the point where I'm having a baby with this other person, or I'm having relations with this other person, it is a whole lot of work, and I'm definitely doing it intentionally. So for me, that's why I'm saying, as of now, if someone steps out and the person is my partner, the person steps out of a marriage, then that's not a question. It's not a question. Definitely, we're going to end that marriage.
Now, Rahma, I will tell you what. Yeah, if you are speaking from that point, um, I got some onion in my eye. No matter, I'm scratching my eye so much. But the aspect that you've brought by there is a fantastic aspect. If you're speaking from that aspect, the amount of hoops that you have to go through to actually have a baby with this other person, it is a lot. Yeah, but I'm sure it does happen, doesn't it?
It does happen. It does happen.
Yeah, yeah. So now again, let's just say it happened, right? It happened. Maybe at that time. God damn it! No, God. Let's just
Guys,
say
this
this,
is
yeah.
how Kevin is telling you that he cooks. This is how he lets you know that he cooks.
Hey, ladies, I'm a chef. What do you mean? So anyway, Rahma, okay, that's switch up. Anyway, what you're saying is a very valid point. But again, Rahma, you are secluding, you are ignoring the fact that there could be issues in your marriage. You guys may, like, say, maybe, let's just give a random example. Yeah, this guy is working too hard, right? He's working way too. Or I mean, it's what worked out for you guys, but his work has pushed him away from you guys, has pushed him away from your family. You rarely get to see him. He's probably out there. He's traveling almost every time, and you guys are having issues about it. You are trying to bring it up. It becomes a very big issue. That's an issue that you guys just can't discuss. He probably has someone else. Let's just say, for example, he has probably met someone else who is, being with her. Let us put it in your words, having relations with, right? You're having those issues. You are feeling lonely. You are a human being. You are a woman. Women have needs, don't they? Right? And then you make the mistake of getting into it. Maybe you find someone who gives you the attention that you so desperately need in your relationship, the attention that the husband who swore to love you throughout your years, the husband who promised to be there for you and to give you all this attention, he is not giving you that, right? Yeah, so he's focused on his work and or whatever the fuck he's doing, right? You find someone who's actually giving you that attention, right? Then one thing leads to another. Bada bing, bada boom, there's a baby, right? But before then, before things get at some point, maybe your husband gets to realize that, yo, I'm not doing my wife right and stuff like that. Then he starts being the husband that you wanted him to be from the beginning, right? Can you imagine that scenario? Because I feel like you have mentioned some very good points, but again, you're also forgetting about the dynamics of the marriage, the dynamics of the relationships. Maybe you have a husband who's beating you, let's just say, for example, or a husband who doesn't look at you the same way as he looked at you when you guys met. There are so many dynamics. What would you do in that situation then?
There's no reason that justifies someone stepping out of their marriage. None whatsoever. Also, the second thing I'm going to say is that if you made a commitment to someone and you made it because you care about this person so much and you love this person so much, you're not going to do anything that is going to hurt them if you love the person.
Rahma,
and this
I'm
is
telling you.
you're listening to what I'm saying.
Yes, I am.
And this is regardless of what the other person is going to do. So you can't control what the other person does or the actions. The only thing you can control is what you're going to do and your reaction to their actions. So, for example, my partner is away and they're not a present partner and they're not doing other things to what's this word? To compensate for the lack of presence, of the lack of physical presence with me there, right? Because of work or whatever else or whatever other reason. I mean, people have to work, that's fine. But them not being there or them not wanting to fix the problem when you've raised it is their issue, right? Is their problem. Now, I am going to be the one to make a conscious decision on what I'm going to do with it. And I'm definitely not going to step out of the marriage. If I'm unhappy, I tell the person. And if they're not maybe making steps to compromise or to work on issues, I'll probably just do whatever I feel best for it. But it will definitely not be stepping out of the marriage.
Okay, so what is it that you do that you feel like is best for it?
Maybe we can come to a conclusion. We can
find. What is the conclusion?
That's what I'm getting to. We can maybe find a work arrangement that works best for both of us. Maybe compromise on our work schedule. Maybe try and see if he can come back and find another job. Yeah, or maybe I can go wherever he is and find a better job there. Or maybe if you can work around a schedule so that we have more time where both of us are in the same location in the same city, maybe once a month or twice a month. But I personally, I'm never going to. I can never do that.
And by the first of all, don't get me wrong, guys. If you are listening to this and you're thinking, this Kevin, he's just supporting cheating. By all means, I'm not supporting cheating in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that before you're quick to before you're quick to dismiss someone because of cheating and all that, sometimes it's good to hear the other side, because I have heard stories of people. You hear what kind of relationship they're in. You're like, yo, I don't condone it, but I low key don't blame you, right? So guys, I am not condoning cheating in any way, shape, or form. And Rahma, I hear you on what you're saying, but I just think that you're saying this now because you're not in that situation, right? The issue is not that he's working outside. The issue is that, say he's running a business, let's just say, right? So he's always on business. Also, he's always on business trips and stuff like that. He is not there. He is not present. You feel ignored, and say because of that he maybe becomes angry and stuff like that. But anyway, I don't want to belabor on that point too much. I just think I hear you and I respect everything that you have just said. But I'm just saying that I feel like you're coming from a point of now, like if you were there now. But if you can imagine the situation, because again, marriage is not easy. Marriage is not easy, bruh. I see people getting divorced, and you hear their stories, because again, as I mentioned to you, I do hang out with much older people than me. That's just the kind of crowd that I like hanging out with. And sometimes and sometimes when the drink has shik at them, yeah, you find this a whole business CEO crying, saying how his wife has done this. There is a guy, I will say this because I know damn well he does not listen to the podcast. This is a man who struggled to get to where he is, right? The guy was earning like 20 G's where he was working in a job. He had a wife, he had a kid. He took his wife through school. Rahma. He paid for his wife through school, I think through uni, because when they met, she hadn't gone to school. He took his wife through uni and everything. He started making some money and all that. Oh no, no, no! Actually, she started making some money as a result of the job that as a result of the school that he was paying for her. Do you know that when she got a better job than him, she started disrespecting the guy. She started kumdarao as a man, right? And I know that you guys are going to say, "Oh, toxic, toxic, toxic masculinity." But as we all say, there is a way women should respect men as men, and men should respect women as women. So as a man, this woman is disrespecting him, hitting him where it hurts. Oh, you don't have money. I have more money than you, and stuff like that. And this is a humble guy who's really striving at his job. It's just that his ends are just not meeting, right? Because we all know that God's time is the best time, right? You can be doing something for so long. You can really be doing something for so long, right? But again, if God just hasn't said that it's your time, it's just really not your time, or maybe your stars just haven't aligned yet, right? This woman started disrespecting the man and everything. Even said, okay, I'm not going to say that, but let's just say that she really started disrespecting the man. Rahma, we were there in the bar just having a polite drink. The guy gets some drink in him. The guy started crying. He's like, yo, the fuck do you want me to do, man? The guy comes with young girls to the club, right? So you were quick to judge him like, oh, this man doesn't even love his wife. But when you hear this man, Rahma, let me tell you something. When you see a whole grown ass man crying, it's serious, man. It's serious. So all I'm simply trying to say is that I'm not trying to condone cheating in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying that there are some situations, there are some dynamics that you need to look at before you quick to judge someone for what they have done. Yes.
You know why you're viewing it as, or generally people view it as, the partner has done XYZ, so it's okay if they step out of the marriage, or they're going to be looked at empathetically
Rahma,
when they
Rahma,
step out of the marriage, right?
Rahma, let me go to that. I am not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying that I'm not going to judge them too quickly or too harshly because
Okay,
of what
so
they
they're
are going through.
judged less harshly, because even when you think about the dynamics, they're hard, they're very complex, right? So definitely the effort that it would take to fix the situation is going to be a lot. It's going to take a lot for both parties to fix it. That's why
Yeah.
the easy fix for the moment is, it's fine, let me just go look for whatever I can find elsewhere. But you don't realize that whatever that you're going to find elsewhere will just fix what you're looking for at that moment, right? It's like a high. It's like you're chasing a high, you get it and you want the same thing over and over again, but it's not going to last. But what you're running away from is something that needs a lot of effort. So the effort that it's going to take to fix your marriage is a lot of effort, yes. But if you really want to, and if you can work it with the other person, then you're going to do that instead of chasing the high that is just a quick fix for the moment. That's why most people prefer not to talk out the situation or deal with the situation before it gets to a point where either of you are thinking of stepping out.
Rahma, all I am simply saying is because I really don't want to belabor on this point too much and bring about other scenarios and try and convince you now. All I'm simply trying to say is that sometimes it is not that it is not that black and white. And I strongly believe that you are saying this from this standpoint right now. You as Rahma Ramadan in the year 2020 at the age of 16 or whatever, because look at you, you are 16. Anyway, that's simply all I'm trying to say is that right now, at this point, you are speaking as of as of as of Rahma Ramadan 2020. But you don't know how
I don't
Rahma
think so.
Ramadan
I don't think so. I
2030.
don't think I don't think I'll ever do something to my significant other. Because one, if you love someone, you're not going to do anything that is going to hurt the person. That's point
And
blank and simple. Regardless of whatever the circumstance is. So
and
even
yeah,
going by that alone, I don't, I really don't think that stepping out is really an option.
and and you, I just want to put it out there, babe. I am not gonna cheat on you. I promise. This is just a conversation for the podcast. Rahma, tell her, tell her,
No,
tell her,
I'm not going to tell her. I
tell
don't
her
know what you're going
that.
to do.
You've met her.
can't be can't
You
be
have
out
met.
here.
You know that I can't
Uh-uh,
cheat on her. Come on.
can't be out here vouching for people
Yeah.
who are cheating, who are cheaters, empathizers. Can't be out here doing that. But also, I think my on even on that sense, hey, the repercussions from an Islamic perspective of someone who steps out of the marriage, it's just too much. And the commitment of you committing to this person, for me,
Yeah.
it's just a huge commitment for you to just take it lightly and just look for something that wouldn't last. And even when you're thinking about, when you were talking about you it's not that easy. You wouldn't divorce excuse me, you wouldn't divorce someone who, your partner, if she cheated on you. I have water. You wouldn't divorce your partner if she cheated on you, right? And you talked about you two having built your life for some time, and of course maybe you have businesses, or even just the longevity of your marriage, right? So now the same aspects that you would think about um, before ending the marriage are the same aspects I would think about if at all I was to step out of the marriage. I'd be like, no, we've actually built a lot with my partner, so I really don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose the person primarily, yes, so I wouldn't do this. But if at all there's supposed to be other things that were supposed to make you step back and not step out of your marriage, then okay, fine. I'll definitely think about what we've built. I'll definitely think about the longevity of our relationship before starting to, form relations with someone else.
God damn, 34 minutes. talking about this, and I'm sure if we were to more, we would go 2 hours talking about it. This is a very controversial topic. This is a very controversial topic that people have very very mixed feelings about. Rahma, I like that you have brought about the Islamic aspect of it, because for me, I was speaking the from the what do I don't what's the Christian standpoint. I want to say the worldly stand. Yes, I was speaking about it from the worldly standpoint, and I like that you brought about it from the Islamic aspect, from the point in which you are coming from. I fully understand it. Yeah, so guys, I want you guys to let us know what you guys think about this whole topic. Guys, we are seeing your comments on YouTube. We are seeing your comments on Instagram. We are seeing your comments on DM. We love it. We appreciate it. But all I ask is that, okay, some topics may be sensitive not to put in the comments, but put it down in the comments so that at least we can get that interaction up. We are trying to grow our socials, and by all means, if you are here and you're not subscribed to our YouTube of That's So Haram podcast on YouTube and That's So Haram podcast on Instagram, and we are actually now on Twitter. We are now on the Twitter. If y'all
Follow
are
us
not
on Twitter.
subscribed or following us, man, we would really we would really love it if you do. And guys, drop us a 5 star on Anchor, Apple Podcast, and whatever platform that you're listening to this on. Drop us a 5 star. We would really appreciate it, man. We are putting in a lot of effort into this thing. As we have mentioned, we have put in a lot of money into this thing for things big things are coming soon, man. We shall keep saying this until you guys actually see, but big things are coming very soon for this podcast. We have a lot of love for this podcast, and we want it to grow to crazy heights. Isn't that right, Rakma Ramadan?
It's very right. Spot on. Wouldn't have put it any better.
Exactly.
By the way,
S-
did you know
uh,
that in Islam there are 3 divorces? Like for you to be like completely done with a person, you have to divorce them like 3 times.
that's smart.
But
That's yeah,
so okay. For example, I'm married to someone, and then for one reason or the other, the marriage is not working. So he or he ends the marriage, or I end the marriage, because even a woman can file for divorce, quote unquote, in Islam.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we end the marriage once, right? And then there's a period of, is it 4 months? Yeah, I think it's 4 months if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 4 months that you need to stay together in the same house. It's like basically a separation, but you have to be in the same house.
yeah,
So you stay together for a period of 4 months. Is it together, or anyway? There's a period before the divorce is actually actualized, is actually invoked. So you
yeah,
stay for that period, because just to show you how serious divorce is taken in Islam, right? So you stay for that period, and then the divorce is invoked. Now it's valid. Now you two are separated. You're divorced completely. So
yeah,
within within that interim period, quote unquote, right? If you decide that you've worked things out, you've talked about it, and now you want to continue being married, then you don't have to sign the contract and do the formality thing again.
yeah,
Yeah, you both just call it, okay, fine, let's just get back together. So
yeah,
now you guys are married again, right? Okay.
yeah,
Then maybe a disagreement occurs and you guys don't want to do it again, and then you do the same thing again, and then you get back to the interim period, and then you decide, okay, fine, we want to work it out. You guys can do that.
yeah,
Then maybe you don't want to do it the third time. You guys say, okay, fine, now we're done with each other for good. Then once now you guys are divorced for the third time, if you want to get back together, or if you want to get married again, you can't until both of you get married to someone else, and the marriage is legitimate, and both of you were actually interested in this other person. It's not like a for sham marriage, right? And then you get divorced for valid reasons, then you can get married again for the 4th time now.
Yo, that's actually smart. That's like what I had this story about Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie, when she was a younger girl, she really hated herself and was going through some serious mental issues. So she actually wanted to end it for herself. But she thought if she killed herself, it would bring so much pain and torment to her family. So she decided to hire a hitman to kill her. So she actually went on Craigslist, I think, and got someone to kill her. So this hitman actually asked her to think about it long and hard. I'm giving you a month to think about it. If you still feel the same way after a month, by all means, I'll stalk you and kill you. Do you know what?
She pulled out.
Of course, you know what? She is still here acting Tomb
Yeah.
Raider and adopting all these many babies, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
so,
wait, I
so
forgot one thing, right? You can, the guy can give you the 3 divorces at a go.
you must have really pissed him off for him to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. So if that happens, then you guys can't get back together unless both of you get married to other people, and then you, for one reason or the other, you guys get divorced, and then now you find yourselves back together.
Y'all see, so ladies and gentlemen, that's Haraam podcast is also educational. For those of you guys who did not know about the Islamic faith, now you know a little bit more. Thank you, Rahma.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yo, goddamn, 40 minutes, and we are still at it, man. I love it. I'm loving it. So, Rahma, I don't know if you guys were watching the news, the NTV on Tuesday, I think, on Monday, Tuesday. They aired this show, this investigative piece called Degree of Doubt, and mind you, guys, I'm loving the investigative. The investigative reports on TV. I love them. I love them. I think out of all media houses, those guys do the best when it comes to investigative
It's the one that
pieces.
did the story on Babuino.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that did the story on Babuino.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so Degree of Doubt. What this thing was about was that in the 254, there are so many graduates coming out of school with very good papers, very good degrees, very good masters, but are simply not able to find a job. Right, so they shared the story of some few young men, one of whom had done engineering, I think, at Maseno University or something like that.
Yeah.
And he is now a mason. Yani mtu wa mjei, yani mtu wa mjengo, these guys who build houses,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah, for those of you guys listening out of the 254, let's just say they are construction workers without gloves. Let's just say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of them
and
is a
without
farmer.
protective gear.
Yes, one of them is a farmer who graduated with a first class honors in microbiology. We had another one who I think did business and finance, who was now a taxi driver. Yeah, and so they were sharing, and so they were sharing this story. And I think we have a very big problem because within our region, which is Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and all that. Yeah, within our region, our
Within East
unemployment
Africa.
rate is the highest. Yeah, with our unemployment rate is the highest. We are at 30 something percent, whereas Uganda and Tanzania are all below 5%. Yeah,
Wow.
and I want to touch on it because I think our government is doing us such a disservice. Yeah, such a disservice because I even wrote down points for this, by the way. Yeah. Did you guys know that SMEs employ more than 89% of the workforce in this country?
Yeah, they drive our economy.
More than 89%. Yet it is the same government that tends to kill SMEs by putting all of these taxes. There are so many taxes that SMEs have to pay. So many of them. So many taxes that SMEs pay. That's just ridiculous. So the money that otherwise we would have gone towards paying people's paying for people, growing the company, goes towards paying taxes. Yeah. And again, I will say this. I have said this once and I will say it again. Right now the government should not be focusing on getting new taxes. KRA, you listen to this, you should not be focusing on getting new taxes. You guys should be focusing on recovering money that was stolen through graft. That's what you guys should be focusing on. Some big police guy, I think Boynet or something like that. Yeah, he's, I think, or Kinoti or something. He's in the news.
Retired. But why not?
or
His term ended.
I think Kinoti, and he said a very good point. He said prosecuting is not enough. We need to recover. We need to recover some of this money. And I have said this. This may be a bit controversial. Rahma, if you're caught stealing money, say 1 billion shillings, your wealth that cannot be explained needs to be taken, all of it, and not just yours, because people as well people will put it in the names of their wives and all that. Please tell me how I am a young man living in a 1 bedroom house and all of a sudden I get 300 million in my account. How? Yeah, so that money should be seized by the government and recovered back to the government. Yeah. Second point, we were here making awareness about Kemsa and about the whole tendering scandal and stuff like that. Yeah, many of these companies that are getting the tenders now are just shell companies for people to steal money. That's basically what they are. Whereas there are legitimate companies that, if they were to get these tenders, they would provide some form of employment, because they have to grow, because they have to service that tender. So they would have to employ more people to service the tender. And who knows, with that, they get more and more and more and more and more tender, they grow and grow and they employ more people. That is just how the economy works, right? It's a very sad situation. I really felt it for those young men, given that they've put in so much effort. And you know what it told when we are growing up. Oh, work hard, get a good job. That's just simply not the case nowadays. I feel like the government needs to do much more. And I'm sure, Rakma, you have heard of this. When you're going to apply for a job, they want experience, right? Now, can you imagine that vicious cycle? You have graduated, you don't have experience, so you can't get a job. You can't get a job because you don't have experience. And the cycle continues. So you keep on applying for a job, but you never get it. So if you never get the experience from the first employer who wants experience, when are you ever going to get experience?
You know, the when you're talking about the SMEs and the taxes, the government is constantly imposing additional taxes on SMEs because the country cannot sustain itself. So it keeps on borrowing more, and then the debt increases. So now it needs to look for of collecting money from people, because we're the ones who pay and service these loans that the government is taking. So, of course, because we already have how many trillions of loans do we have?
I,
I don't,
I, don't
I
even,
can't keep
I
track.
don't
I can't
even
even
want to
keep track.
start. I
Exactly. I
don't
think
even
our
want to
loan
keep
is in
track.
trillions now. Our loan is in trillions. So they still keep on borrowing, and a lot of the money goes into salaries and allowances. Of course, they'll need to figure out new ways on how they'll get more money. And definitely, taxes is just the easiest thing they can think of. I remember when my mom was going through uni and everything and college, she was telling me they had this thing where if you finish college or if you finish uni, you're assured of a job. If you get a minimum of, I don't know, I think above average or something like that, you're assured of a job. So when you finish, you get a letter in the post, and it has your name and everything and wherever you're going to be posted. That
Yeah.
system was very efficient, and there are very many people that who are the age of my parents right now who went through that system, and after that, um, there were opportunities where you could go for further studies. Like, I know of a friend's father who went to the US after finishing their first degree in UON. Then back then, they went to the US under the master's exchange program. And they're like, I think a handful of people who I know were my parents' age who went through that system. I mean, things during that time were not rosy in terms of, when you're looking at the government accountability and development spending and all those things. But at least the money that was being stolen then was not as much as what is being stolen now. At least there were some people that you know of right now that benefited from a semi or a somehow working educational system back then, or somehow working labor systems back then. The health system was much, much better than that. So at least if people are going to steal money that was meant for masks, the cancer situation, or money that was meant to build infrastructure for people to go to schools, or money that was meant to be allocated to SMEs so that people who are graduating can get jobs. Let them just even steal maybe 40% or even 50%. Hell, fine, 50%. Just do something with the other 50%. I was seeing a tweet this week. I think it was from Rama of Green Calabash. I don't know if you follow Green Calabash, the YouTube family in Kenya. He was saying, for him, the only way out for us in Kenya is that if corruption was legalized, a percentage of the funds that are allocated for every project is okay for people to steal. Let's say, I don't remember the percentage that he put, but I think maybe 40 or something. So let's say
Rahma,
you can steal
absolutely not.
40%. It's cool, no
Absolutely
problem.
not.
But
Absolutely
the
not.
60%, I mean, it's not something that I advocate for, of course, but I'm
Yeah.
saying it has reached that point that citizens of the country are floating ideas of, hell, you guys have stolen so much money and the youth are suffering, businesses are suffering, small businesses are suffering, and every system in the country is collapsing more than ever. And guys are very frustrated because clearly now guys guys really don't care. Everyone is stealing from every angle and no one is even bothering to cover up. So
I
now,
think it's
how
simply,
about let's put an allowance for you guys to work with? You guys can do that. It's fine. You guys can play with that allowance if you want. You can take the money, do whatever the hell that you want. But for this percentage, you need to actually put it in a project and we need to see results.
now Rahma, if we
That's
are
where we've
now
reached.
Rahma,
Imagine that is where we've reached.
nah, Rahma, if we get to that point, then there is really no hope. I think it just needs to be very simple. Corruption needs to be such a big crime, not the joke that is being taken to be right now. Let's be like China. I mean, who would have thought that I am going to advocate for Chinese law? If you're corrupt, hang, get hung,
Imagine
and your wealth is taken over
we
by the
talk
government.
we talk about this generally in our everyday life about corruption and how it's just very sad and how we want stringent measures to be put. We've talked about it even in our podcast. But really, the reality of it is that not much is not going to happen. Really, not much is going to happen because the people, again, don't forget that China is not a democracy. It really isn't. So even the systems that they put in place for them to decide that this is the law that we're going to pass, there's not really much of public consideration of opinions or putting it out there for debate that needs to take place for them to be able to do that. They can do that because it's probably a one-man decision, right? But for Kenya, it's a democracy. So this is probably supposed to be a bill tabled in parliament before it becomes law. And the same people that are supposed to draft the bill, table it in parliament for discussion, pass it, are the same people you want to prosecute. Really, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. This thing failed
I think we just
even
need.
when we were just thinking about it. It's the
I think
system is made to not make such things pass. So
I think we just need the arrow to come to this country and kill a couple of people, and just anyway, guys, this has
he'll
gotten
probably
really
be
heated.
killed before he kills anyone, actually.
This has gotten really heated, guys. This has been episode 14. You guys, we want to hear your comments. We want to hear what you guys think about, because I'm of the complete opposite of what Rahma is saying. Because once we get to that point, we have started normalizing corruption, which can never ever ever be the case. Even the US, they do have some very strict measures about corruption. Corruption can land you in jail for life and stuff like that, depending on how much you have stolen by the. So yes, there is a lot of work that needs to be done. But I believe that the moment we get to a point where we are given an allowance for theft, nah, 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 nah. Guys, we want to hear what you guys think. Put it down in the comments. Put it down on our Instagram, on our YouTube comments. We read all of those comments and we love seeing it from each and every one of you guys. This has been episode 14 of the That's So Haram podcast with me, Kevin Kakere.
And me, Rahman Ramadan.
Yo, guys, check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and all that. We shall see you again next week. We are out of the building. Peace. God damn, that was a fantastic episode. Oh my God. Oh my God, that was a
We
fantastic
did all
episode.
that in one take. That was
That
good.
was a fantastic. Yo, I felt that, Rahma. I felt that.